Thanks for staying with us here on Sunrise. If you're just joining us, our special guest this morning is the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica. And we do have another guest host that we're welcoming onto set. His name is Kaleb. Good morning, Kaleb. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Hi, Kaleb.
Hi. Oh, you're bringing breakfast for PM?
Good morning, Kaleb.
You hear he likes Ota Iti apples.
Oh, Lord. You know,
Particularly like to pick them.
Unfortunately, I can't have these in my diet these days.
But the apples will do. Thank you very much.
Apple is excellent.
Eh?
Caleb, a little birdie told us that you have a question or two for the Prime Minister.
Have a seat.
Okay.
So go ahead and ask him a question.
Okay. Morning, Mr. Prime Minister.
Good morning, Kaleb.
How are you?
I am good, and I'm better for seeing you and meeting you.
I have a couple questions to ask you. My first question is, what types of genres of music do you listen to?
Oh, I love that.
I listen to all music. I mean, I must tell you. So, you know, I recently discovered Niji Boy.
Niji Boy.
I've always listened to dancehall music and how it has evolved. I mean, I can't tell you I agree with every theme of the music, but it's good. If sometimes you don't hear the words and you just hear the beat, that's fine. But I do pay attention to it because it's a pulse of the people, and you have to hear what the people are saying. So clearly, that is always, you know, on my playlist. Roots rock reggae. You know, Bob Marley going right through. Clearly, so those are always on my list. I like, you know, alternative. I don't think they call it alternative these days, but yeah. It's very difficult now to put pop music into a genre because it's all, you know, mixed and collaborations and so forth. So pop music generally, yeah. And you know, our traditional music, mento. If you get a good album, it's good. Yes, sometimes I do listen to classical music. Yes. These days I don't. You know, that's a relaxed Sunday. Listen, yeah.
I think also on a relaxed Sunday you go to Sister Pat. I know you love the Lord is mine. And then guess what the Prime Minister does? He gives us a dip and then a turn.
What else do you want to ask?
Is your job of being a Prime Minister easy or difficult?
What do you think?
I think it's very difficult.
You're correct. But no, it's not an easy job. When you're Prime Minister, everybody's problem becomes your problem.
Yeah.
And if you're a Prime Minister that people believe can do stuff, then everything is going to be placed at your feet. So in a sense, your success becomes your own challenge, because people believe that you're not doing enough based upon what they think you can do and what you have achieved in the past. So I found it very amusing on social media. Somebody drops in a pothole and says, "Andrew, let's look at the pothole." Ultimately, yes, you're responsible. You have to make the policies work.
Yeah.
But then it goes to some other extremes which might, you know, be ridiculous. But you get blamed for, you know, the price of glue for eyelashes or whatever it is. You see some strange things on social media. But the truth is, Kaleb, that it is a difficult job. You can't please everyone, but you must be focused on what it is that you have set out to do and try to achieve those things, whilst at the same time giving everyone a listening ear. You won't be able to respond to everybody, but you must at least have the system in place to scan the environment, to hear what everybody is saying, and then you pick the sense out of whatever nonsense or whatever sense there is, and you move ahead with a strategy. And that is what leadership is. So everybody's going to say, I want this, this should be done, that should be done. And they're going to be powerful voices. You listen to everyone, and then you find a quiet place, and you make a decision. And once you've made a decision, that is what you're going to do. And that's leadership.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your questions, Kaleb. It is Child's Month. We are celebrating Child's Month in May. And so glad you represented the kids today. All right.
Kaleb, high five. Very nice.
PM, as we let you go, I just want to ask, in terms of your outlook for the economy for the rest of the year, things you would say, you know, there are numbers that are in the right direction, but some people might not feel those numbers, they say. What's the outlook from the Prime Minister's desk?
the big picture for Jamaica is our economic independence. All right, that's the big picture, meaning that we as a country earn the resources, we produce it, we earn it, and then we determine how to spend it.
Right.
That's a big picture. And you can see that that is what is emerging. Whether it is the highways that we're doing, the water project, you're not hearing about Jamaica borrowing to do, is Jamaica spending what we've earned. All right? So that big picture is emerging and becoming almost the status quo, and that's what we want. If you dig a little deeper into that picture, how do we translate this now into benefits for every household?
Yeah, the trickle-down effect.
I'm not a trickle-down economics.
We want raining down.
Right? I don't believe in trickle-down. I'm going to be clear.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We believe in transforming.
Correct.
Now, the average person looking on and hear me talking about GDP, debt to GDP,
That's not their language.
inflation,
Yeah.
it's a chop. That not be not to me.
Exactly. It's not their language.
All right? Okay. All right, I hear what you're saying. But it means everything to you. Pay attention to it.
Yes.
Because if it is not going in the right direction, it's problems. So let's talk about how we transform households by focusing on inflation. If you earn a fixed income and the price of goods are moving every day rapidly, your fixed income is going to be able to purchase less things. So you need the government to focus on inflation. So stop saying foolishness about inflation. You know, we don't mean anything. It means everything. And you need to hold the government to account for that. So we hold ourselves to account for that. After the pandemic, inflation went up to as high as almost 12%.
Globally.
We have now brought it back down by doing deliberate things such as, you know, controlling whatever increases there are in taxi fares and giving some subsidies to cushion to reduce the impact of that, but by controlling interest rates as well. That has a secondary effect on economic activity and on businesses. But the critical thing here is to make sure that the price of goods, the cereal and the other things that we have on that, is not moving so fast that it erodes your purchasing power for an already low wage. So we're managing inflation. We have been good stewards on that. Secondly, in terms of the management of the dollar, let's face it, you have never seen this level of stability in the dollar. You know, the thing is, you know,
at 156 for a while.
no, but the thing is, when it's a problem, you know, everybody quarrel. And when it is stable, nobody remembers. Move on to the next thing. But let it become a problem again. And we have been good stewards in managing that. We have been good stewards in trying to deal with all the issues of the country without running with it.
All right.
And I say this, that is how you give benefit to the people. So we have increased wage levels in the country, more than any other government has in the history of Jamaica. And yet people say, well, we don't get the wage, and we quarrel about all the wage-related issues, which we understand they're fundamental issues about how, you know, who gets what percentage on these issues. And we're working through them, and there are still persons whose wage settlements haven't been finalized. So we appreciate and we understand that. But let's not miss the big picture, that the things that matter to your household, controlling inflation so that your income maintains its purchasing power, increasing your income levels, especially those who work in the public sector. The increase is twice now in the minimum wage. These are all things that should make it globally easier for the household. But we're coming from a really bad position, and it is going to take some time to get there. But you can see that the government is making the economic steps to secure not just the national economic independence, but your own independence. And what is the greatest way to secure your economic independence, Kaleb? It's to get you a job so that you can earn an income. That is the start. So don't matter how low the wage is. Employment leads to income. Income leads to investment. Investments leads to greater employment, which leads to greater income. And we are getting Jamaicans into that virtuous cycle where your household can be transformed.
All right.
That is it.
We're going to have to leave it
I
there.
wish we had more time.
Thank you very much. Our special guest this morning has been the Most Honorable Andrew Holness. Coming up after the break, we have a special performance for Prime Minister by Kaleb. You don't want to miss it.
Star of the show. He sure is.